Well, we're going to Alderac Pass. We're in the losers bracket final, and it feels that Team Ash is going for a full run through the lower bracket. They have won several games in a row now in the losers bracket, I believe 3, and this is their 4th. Going up against the Raiders now. Whoever loses this best of 3 series takes the 3rd place in the tournament. This is the 5th qualifier for the Banshee Cup. And again, if you're a little bit newer here, the principle is still the same. You don't qualify by winning one of the tournaments. You gather points participating in the qualifiers. And at the end of all 6 qualifiers, they're being added up. And the top teams in the leaderboard, they make it into the playoffs. The $2,500 of prize money, that's what they're fighting over in the playoffs themselves. So we're slowly getting there. I mean, this is qualifier number 5, so we only have 1 left after this one. And it's not only about getting into the playoffs, you also want to be high up on the leaderboard because it heavily influences the path towards the finals and what kind of position you have, since we're going into a step-ladder system next. So right now, Team Ash with a chance to lock in a few more points if they can overcome the Raiders here. The winner will go up into the grand final to face off against the Bratwurst boys. Also, again, big shout out to Sylvana's main Kevin, aka Psychiv, who is sponsoring this event. So this is his tournament here. So big shout out to him. He's been doing tons to keep the Heroes of the Storm scene alive. So again, guys, thumbs up. The man is insanely passionate about Heroes and is doing his best to make sure that the game, at least on an esports level, does not die. Now, we have Sylvanas banned out, always a shame, and a Nubarak, so no Nubarak shenanigans to try and lock in one of the camps quickly. But it's still map number 1. You can go for a couple of globals here, we can have some Samuro plays, so yeah, kind of intrigued. I want to see what Sven, for example, is playing. Is Tracer being played again by Gavlo? He's been always eager to lock that in. They have Nano also on the board here for some nasty Hanzo plays. A bit of Chromie action. So, more than enough. But yes, first pick. What's the verdict? What are we getting here? A little bit hesitant. I mean, come on, boys. First pick. They go for Sven's. They go for Blaze. Blaze is up. So they go for one of the... probably still the best side laner that we have in the game. At least if you play with allies that know what a bunker is and how to enter it. Yeah, Blaze is a prepper. You just have to tell everybody. Like during Corona times, it was so much easier to play Blaze because you could just tell everybody that you have toilet paper in the bunker and they would all just immediately jump in there. That was the dumbest thing ever, the toilet paper craze. Even at the time, I was just saying how insanely stupid that was. That everybody was rushing on the toilet paper like we would run out of paper tomorrow. The most ridiculous thing ever. Just shows you how social media and everything can make people stupid. Was the dumbest thing ever. Even if we would have run out of toilet paper, worst case scenario, literally worst case scenario, you have a shower in your apartment. That's the worst case. I'm like, oh my god, no. This was one of the time where you just wanted to slap everybody in supermarkets that was running around with like 5 stacks of toilet paper. And it's just like, how dumb can you be? Ridiculous. Like, oh boy. Oh. And then you had later on the images where people were trying to return toilet paper because they were stocking up in insane amount and were trying to sell it to insane prices and make a profit out of it. There was this one story with a supermarket in Australia, I believe, where somebody wanted to bring back toilet paper and the guy just simply refused and like threw him out and was just like, yeah, just like piss off, dude. Ridiculous. Absolutely crazy. I mean, imagine being in the toilet paper. That's one thing. But being such a dick that you actually buy out and then you're trying to sell it on a higher price to other people. What kind of a dick do you have to be in a situation like that? Unbelievable. Those were the people where you knew, okay, I will remove that guy from my friends list. Anyways, how did we end up here? Ah, yeah, Blaze. Blaze and Bunker. Exactly. Hanzo and Anduin. So we get Hanzo for Nano. Talked about it earlier. Rega. Renella loves Rega. So yeah. And we get Junkrat for that. No globals, by the way. Nobody's gone for the Haka, for example. Hogger and Blaze instead. I mean, we don't get the birdie either, so no false stat here. Okay. Final 2 picks for map number 1. Tracer has been banned. I mean, at this point, it's kind of known that Khaldor really loves Tracer and wants to play her and is also pretty good at her. So everybody just bans Tracer on, even if not on the first rotation, then on the second ban phase. So yeah, we got Malthael and we got Muradin. Alrighty. Junkrat and Morenas, the last ones here. Morenas is the last one. Why am I adding Junkrat? Junkrat as a player would be fun. What hero would Junkrat pick? That would be interesting. What hero do you think heroes, if they played Heroes of the Storm, would pick? A little bit confusing, I know, but think about it, it's actually an interesting question. Fawcett, there's the birdie. We get the bird. Let's go, everybody. All direct pass. Game number 1 in the best of 3 series. We are in the losers bracket final, and it is Team Ash against the Raiders. Game number 1, the Raiders on the left with our boy Anduin being played by Hunter, Hanzo by Nano, Krankel is playing Muradin, we got Sven on Blaze and Gavlo on Malthael. Over to the right side of the map, Team Ash with Renella on Rhaegar, Bishops on the Birdie, we got Maitrai on Johanna, Morenas on Hogga, and Lopaka with Junkrat. So, we're off to the races, I like it. Good first draft, pretty solid from both teams. We are on all direct pass, so who gets wrecked? Let's have a look here. On level 1 we get the dwarf block. And yeah, Bishops. Bishops on Falstad is always fun to me, because he's been playing Falstad a lot, but I feel recently, first of all, they haven't been playing with a lot of Falstad, and he has also not played that hero all too much, even when they got him. They always rotated around a bit. So I want to see what he can do with that. Now, there's no Genji on the other side. That's usually like one of the prerequisites. Genji, like a lot of the mobility creep has really made it difficult for some of the heroes that were added early to Heroes of the Storm to properly survive. We've also talked about this in the context of some of the mages like Kel'Thas in the past, but for Falstad it is essentially true too, so something to definitely keep an eye on. But since there is no Genji here, Falstad totally fine. But there's always this bit of an interplay when you have Tracer against Falstad, Genji against Falstad. All these pesky Overwatch heroes, they just love chicken now that I think about it. So the bird always high up on their priority list. Camps about to be claimed. Again, one of the few mercenary camps that we have on the map besides the bosses is actually the only one, so you have to go for it as diligently as you possibly can. Maitrai at the top with Jojo. And trying to block that one out. Down at the bottom of the map, Sven is eating some damage immediately and tries to get away from Bishops. But the fights are already on, so they are going for their little skirmishes at the top lane as the rotation between the mid and the top is happening. Krankel is jumping out, Huntdog is there. That Mecha Rhaegar skin. Do you remember that, guys, when it was released, when we had that little anime video, that trailer that Blizzard brought in? Those were the days when we still had hopes for the game, when the future was rosy, and when Blizzard wasn't the shit show that it is today. Kills against Rhaegar and against Hogga, so quick double kill right there. And down to the bottom of the map, Bishops, yeah, he's also eating a stun, but they're apparently not done in the middle. They're going for Jojo too. Muradin getting booped in and jumping back out, but damn, that's 3 kills. The Raiders again on the warpath. Now, just in case that you don't know that, the Raiders are currently in the standings, the number 2 team, so they are one of the teams to really beat here. Now, we don't update the standings live for videos or anything like that. It might not sound like much, but it's actually a lot more work than you might think. But you can always look at the current leaderboard if you want on Discord. There's a link in the description that you can check out. And if you're really interested in it, then just join the Discord server and have a look there. But yes, the Raiders are indeed in the number 2 position in the standings. So they are the team to beat. But they also have a bit of an advantage over Team Ash, because Team Ash has actually only started to participate in these qualifiers, I believe, in qualifier number 4. So this is only their second one. And given those circumstances, they're actually doing pretty well. This is one of the advantages for a lot of teams when we have this particular qualification model, because you get rewarded for participating in a lot of the qualifiers. And it helps teams also to just decide, you know, how many qualifiers do we need? Do we have time every single weekend? So it gives players a bit more flexibility, and particularly in the context of Heroes of the Storm, we're always trying to make it as smooth for the players as we possibly can, while also still keeping the competitive spirit alive here. Nice first kill also. Hanzo goes down, so Nano is eliminated, and that's the first big move that was made by Team Ash. Always good to fight back into the game. As Blaze at the bottom of the map gets attacked for a moment, but it's now also time to go for the first objective, and that's exactly what we're fighting for, or what they're trying to. And Blaze actually got killed at the bottom of the map. They were able to make it happen. Hogger then again falls too up at the top, but down here I was actually expecting them to push a little bit for the wall, but they haven't done that. So 4 kills to 2 still, regardless of the kills that we now had on each side. We have that advantage for the blue team, for the Raiders. And Falstad is still maintaining control over the bottom of the map. So Falstad is still doing his thing here. And rightly so. He can always fly towards the top if he's really needed on the objective. But since they were able to take Blaze out at the bot lane, there's the perfect opportunity to get some extra damage in. Maybe take a tower down or deal with the gate. So he's trying to do exactly that. Now, Malthael, he's still rocking the show here on the mercenary camp. And on the right side, it's already taken by Hogger. Nobody has really made the big move yet for the camp and is fully committed to it. We had first Team Ash and then afterwards the blue team at least nibbling on it slightly and see if they maybe get something for free here. But as both of the teams have immediately started to defend, it was fine. Gavlo. Falstad nearly had him there for a second. So the attacks are still coming. Yeah, mini stun against Renella, thanks to Muradin's level 7, and they get him! The dog is dead! Level 10 in a moment. Of course, it cost them a bit of time, and that time was wisely used by their opponents as they came towards the top lane and started applying pressure onto the fort. Entire wall has been destroyed over here. But yeah, we are starting to kick things off with heroic abilities and the actual objective. Right now, we have another in-drop from Jojo, but they're definitely trying. We now got Gust, we got Last Rites. And on top of that, we also have them with Hanzo's arrow as usual. Shockwaves, a lot of stuns are coming out here. Still gotta deal with the mid lane a little bit. Oh, but we're definitely in for a bit of a treat here. The action is coming. 10 to 10. And I think they want to go and force that fight in a moment. At least everybody is now moving towards the middle and trying to get in position for it. Talking about position, Last Rites and good Ancestral. Can they still get the kill on Joanna? The answer is yes, no, maybe. And my try gets out. Okay, so he gets away. But that was a great job from Renella. Last Rites would have sealed the deal if not for that. And that, Gus, nice, leads to a double, a triple kill. They get 3 heroes eliminated here. Yeah, even Muradin is gonna die. It's gonna take him a second, but he will fall. So, job well done. Great, nice move. Falstad flies in after all of this, gusts them straight into the team. Hanzo dies first, and after that they take 2 more heroes out. So Team Ash absolutely back to business. Has a lead in experience right now and is looking strong. And is starting with the objective. Now, unlikely that they're going to get it in the first grab, but they have now taken a lead on that. Joanna needs to be careful that she doesn't get murdered. And they're still playing the macro game. Look at Falstad at the bottom of the map and Hogger at the top. So they have 2 heroes on those side lanes, still determined to take those forts down a bit. So they just keep the... Oh, that's a stack. Yep, that is indeed a stack. A little bit too late for Rhaegar to have an impact here. It's a good move by Gavlo. He gets the kill on Falstad and he gets the first stack for Last Rites. But I like that the red team is trying to macro it up a bit here. And is just moving from one position to the next, applying pressure to forts and taking the lead. Then again, good reactions also from the blue team. It's not like they're simply taking this one. They are coming in, grab their kill against Jojo, and now do the same thing in the middle. They have the camp that they took earlier, and they can use it immediately to apply pressure to the fort, and it seems like they're going to be the first ones to walk away with one. Falstad flies, Falstad gusts, and it doesn't do enough. Nah, not this time. It was a nice thought, but at least he didn't die, right? The funniest moves are the ones where Falstad just thinks he is a god amongst men, flies in, and then gets absolutely murdered as he is out of position and the team turns on him. So Underdog pausing the game here, but essentially what we're currently having is 7 kills, 2-5, 13-13. We don't have a single objective yet in the game. We're already 8 minutes in. The red team got close at some point to take one, but we're still too far away from it. They want to go for Hogger. Shockwave comes out, covers his retreat a bit, and everybody is starting to slowly move towards the top. That includes Falstad this time, so he's also making a move for it. Falstad is on the way. Blessed Shield comes out. They're trying to make a play here. Both teams on level 13 talents. 20,000 damage for Junkrat and 20,000 for Hanzo. Malthael isn't here. Malthael is on the camp and takes it. The red team this time, I don't want to call it sloppy, but they have prioritized the attack at the top over grabbing their camps. That's a slight advantage. Hanzo's arrow comes out. Next attack is in. They want the kill. Riptire coming through too though. And they gust him away for a bit more safety. Junkrat is fine. Last rides. Oh, and Hogger dies. He died a second later after last ride hits, but still within the window. So last ride stack number 2 now acquired for Malthael. And he is getting there. That's 10 seconds already of cooldown reduction that he has on his ult. 8 minutes into the game. 9 minutes into the game is not too bad. They go to the top, they take Junkrat out, and they start the progress on the camp. So all of a sudden, this is looking much, much better for the Raiders. They might get the objective here, at least they're trying. They have the camp still pushing through the middle, which is another problem, obviously, that the Team Ash has to face up against. But Nano overstays, has a problem jumping out, and gets punished. So he goes down. As this happens, over here, the wall is slowly falling, but the team fight is obviously a little bit more important to them. My try is able to get out. Good news for him that last rides is still on cooldown, but for how long, that's the question. Anduin gone. Yeah, oh, the cast. Last rides is just now ready. Hogger would have died here. Again, Renella didn't have an Ancestral Wrath, but the camp gets claimed. The first prisoner camp in the game goes to the blue team. They are able to pick up the first cavalry and have now a chance to push. Problem is, Hanzo just now made it back, so maybe at least initially there will be an easy defense for Team Ash. Should make it a bit easier to make sure that you're not losing too many structures here. So, yeah. That's, I guess, what's going to happen as this continues. Top side is still taking some damage, but you can see that Junkrat can easily defend this here. Arrow, though, connects, but Hogger was already starting to spin, so he didn't get anything out of that either. At least one fort to be destroyed would be nice, though, and that's what they're working on at the bottom of the map. So this one will likely fall, or will it? They're poking, but here come the defenders, and with Khaldor now joining the fight too. Yeah, that one was a given then. Ooh, but apparently they still have some problems, so we already had them pause the game once. They unpaused it very quickly early. It seemed like they had some issues, maybe with voice, maybe with something else. So, yeah, not quite sure. It's currently 6:30, so yeah, maybe one of the boys has to go and grab some food. That's always the worst. You're playing with your boys, you know, and you're just like wrecking people, and then all of a sudden it's just like, Garflo! Garflo! Food's ready! But Mom, I'm playing! Yeah. My parents never got that you actually had to play with other people. Honestly, I should have made the analogy a lot more that it's like a team sports, like actual sports. That you leave people behind. It's not just solo games. My parents were, I mean, they got it at some point, but initially they were always from the generation, you know, that only knew stuff like Mario Brothers and things like that, so that you actually played with others. That was always, at least initially, a bit of a foreign concept to them. But yeah. Food's ready! Those were the days. My parents were actually pretty cool with most of the stuff. As long as my grades were okay and I was doing sports outside, they were fine with me sitting at the PC as well. And thankfully, I fulfilled both of those criteria, so yeah, a lot of wiggle room. I actually don't know, like, these days, but yeah. Either way. Boss at the top. So nice move from Team Ash, grabbing that. 16 talents for both teams, which means that Anduin is the pull-out king. He has 2 charges on his D and can now easily get targets to safety. It makes him such an annoying hero. It's absolutely bananas. Every time you lock in a fight, you get the stun chain going, and then Anduin is like, zip! Nope! So, yeah. But okay, we have 2 forts destroyed on the red team side, 1 on the blue team side. And here comes the move in the middle with Muradin starting the engage. The flank is coming, but they couldn't get those initial stuns, and that makes this, well... Can they actually get a last? Oh, the Ancestral, but the kill! The Ancestral was so good, but they still killed Hogger, and that is a 3rd stack for Malthael. 15-second cooldown reduction. They go for Renella. He gets rooted. They want the dog in. Even Skullcracker is kicking in here, but he's able to get out. Jojo, thankfully for her, still had an Iron Skin shield up, because if not for that, she might have fallen here too. But the blue team is running the show now. 10 kills to 7, 1 level ahead. Half a level. Let's not overdo it. Objective is back up, so they could try and take the lead on it. If they go all the way here, we'll see. Currently not really making a move for it. But yeah. Over on the right side of the map. Vanilla going for the camp. What's the damage actually like? 36,000 for Hanzo. Malthael on 29k, which puts him in a very good spot still. Falstad, top damage in the game, my man. The bird with 38,000. Not only does he taste good, but he also... the Falstad is delicious. I mean, those chicken wings, whew. But my man also delivers the damage numbers today, as it seems. Raiders are now moving in. They're still insanely even, by the way, when you think about it. Malthael gets... What was that? Hunthawk with a light bomb on Gavlo as he's sitting on the mound. I guess they were thinking they could connect that, but yeah, wishful thinking in action. Malthael is the only one that hasn't died yet. This is kind of cool. The Angel of Death, the only one that controls it perfectly. So, Stormbolt to the face. Here comes Bishops. Oh, and they delete Anduin. Andalin gets murdered. Yeah, Crankle, Stormbolt misses. Hop, little dwarf. Hop, hop. He's in trouble. He's really in trouble. He's not getting out of this. He can delay them a bit. Nobody went on the other side. Are you kidding me? You didn't see that coming? Okay, that should have been a kill. They knew he would do that. Where else would he go? They could have had one of their guys cut him off at the top. But yeah, anyways. Now maybe a chance to go for Sven. Camp is up, so they can try and make a play here. And there's also more damage being done at the top. I think this is another fort that falls. Yeah, those minions are more than enough. And damn, Hogger down. So is Malthael. Now the Ancestral is kicking off. The team's on level 20. And Renella with the quick fingers over here was quick enough to go instantly for his talent pick and then YOLO the Ancestral out, so that both of them were hitting. They are not getting far ahead on the objective though. It's a real small advantage. I just love simply that we have the teams still on absolute eye level with kills, with experience. Even on the map the difference wasn't that big until the top fort fell. Now the entire outer ring of defense on the side of Team Ash is gone. And once again the Raiders trying for the objective. 44,000 damage for Junkrat. Hogger died 5 times, by the way. Boah. And on the other side, it is still Hanzo with the 55,000 that brings the numbers for them. And with Hogger not here, they're not fighting for this objective. They're letting it go. Yep, they're letting it go. Oh no, 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 not like this. Hogger is back and Jojo dies. That is the worst thing that can possibly happen to you in that situation. The moment that you have the 5th hero back on the map, you lose someone else on the map. Staggered deaths are always a disaster. And they're losing more. Hogger is gone. Veni, Vidi, BG. He came, he saw, and he died again. And he's not the only one. Hogger, Junkrat, and Rhaegar all gone. Raiders on the move, and boy, what a disaster. Hogger just came back from the Nexus. He came back, he moved in, and he insta-died again. That man is just peeing his pants in front of every single team fight right now, which also finally explains why he smells like that. 15 kills to 9, and at the bottom of the map, the first... I mean, this keep is 100% gonna fall. 100%. Question is just simply, are they going to go straight for core, wait for another keep? How many armor shields do they want to remove from the core before they are making a full play? It's 17 minutes in, that boss hurts, and they should be able to make this happen. If they chunk that down, and they already are, they have 14 seconds until Hogger is back, and with the boss coming in, with the cavalry there, yeah, this is looking extremely good. Now, you have to obviously commit to this. They're trying to bait it out a little bit more so that they have more space to work with, but this is game. This is the 1-0 in the series. It's the Raiders taking the lead, at least it should be, but Malthael is down. There's the Gust. boss alone should still take it, but they're losing Anduin too. They're losing Hanzo. Can the boss finish this? Sven with the damage. Blaze is about to fall. Muradin too. Guys, this might not be over. This isn't over. This is not over. They're saving it. They're saving the core. With a sliver of health, the entire team got murdered, and the core still stands, and then the keep falls. If they would have gone for the keep first and then for the core, they would have ended the game here. Just imagine if they would have reversed it. The second armor shield got removed the moment that they were all wiped off the map. Full 5-man team wipe, but I'm still not certain that they can win the game. That's 2 armor shields removed now. This might not have the impact that people think right now. Because what are you doing here now? Seriously, what's the play for Team Ash? They take the boss and then what? Take the top keep? Maybe. But even if you take the top keep, you're still a keep behind. There is still only 1 armor shield removed. Fort in the middle might fall now. But no matter what happens here, the Raiders are still ahead. Because of that keep that just fell in the middle and the one that has taken damage at the top. So even with a 5-man team wipe just now, there's not a whole lot that they can do with this. Unless they're winning another team fight. There's the Gust, Wind Tunnel, they're trying to push them into the battle. Mid fort falls, top keep could fall too. Already a good attack. Where is Malthel when you need him for last rites? Fort is gone, now it's about the top lane. Now of course, the momentum on the map has shifted, no doubt. Team Ash is currently in the driver's seat, but they're still behind on the map. And this topside keep, spoiler alert, it's not gonna fall. And if they want, they can also go for the objective and simply let the boss slide. The objective might be a bigger threat now. This is a weird one all of a sudden. And this is one of the issues why most teams will not go up against the core if it still has 2 armor shields. Exactly that, because now it's back to full HP. So they're trying to push their way back in to prevent the objective from being grabbed that easily. Team Ash fighting tooth and nail here. Riptire, 22 seconds, 20 more seconds. Where's Malthael? He's not close enough to drop the last rites here. And they lose him. No, he didn't even use his ult. Malthael is back. At least yet no one can stop death. But if they want to stop the objective, they gotta try. And it's not looking like it. Core is getting attacked on the right side, by the way. Maltha, they lose Blaze. Yeah, now it's becoming a problem. Okay, now it's a different story. Now it's becoming an actual issue. This is something that they still have to deal with, though. There's another wave coming in. So this is getting a bit tricky for a second. They might have to send somebody back here. Yeah, I guess the cavalry, the raiders are dealing with it. Still, yeah. 50% HP, okay, it's the raiders that deal with it. But yeah, now it's a different story. Now that they won a second team fight, Team Ash all of a sudden have some hopes here. So here we go, there's a kill. Finally. Finally, Gavlo has found his R button again. That's probably why they paused the game earlier. His buttons were broken. He found the R button, he dropped the last rites, they killed Rhaegar. Okay, now we're talking. But they're still gonna suffer at least the keep at the top. I don't think that they can take down the one in the middle. So, yeah, topside keep has now fallen. That's 1 armor shield removed. And with Rhaegar down, what are they doing? Are they trying to cross map now? I mean, they could. Blaze is back. But 30 seconds is a big map. Unlikely to happen. Yeah, the save on Muradin. Lots of ults that they just used. They literally used everything. Mighty Gust, Blessed Shield, Shockwave, and Riptire were all used in that last encounter. Bottom fort is now also gone. So, Team Ash is drawing more and more even, but there's still this one difference on the core, and that is that second armor shield. So, the Raiders, they're trying to go for the boss at the bottom of the map. And Rhaegar isn't back yet. Falset is flying in. They're trying to set up a trap. Malthael is retreating. As long as he survives, it's fine. Oh, and he dies. And this time he cannot buy back. Yep, this time he can't buy back. So that is bad news. Now they are the ones with 4 on the map. And guess what? That means that the boss is up for grabs at the bot lane. Hanzo on 91,000, Junkrat on 72k. This got wild. Ever since they got wiped on the core, the game has turned against them. And on the one hand, you might say like, duh. But again, they weren't too far behind after that. They lost control of the game, but if they would have just won another team fight, if they would have been able to win another fight after this, even just get one kill, they're back in control on the map, and then any objective that they take, any boss that they take, even if they just take the top keep, would have very quickly turned it fully in their favor again. That it didn't happen is because Team Ash was dominating the fights afterwards and is now just pinning them down in their base, and every attempt that the Raiders make to break out results in disaster. A nice move, setting two heroes up here, flanking in, taking Malthael down as he was on the way to the boss. They claim boss, and now is another objective. It's the exact same pattern that we saw before. Boss attacks top lane, red team goes for the prisoner camp. Now we have the boss at the bottom of the map, they go again for the prisoner camp. Boss gets defeated, but can they now fight for the camp? Because they just can't afford to lose objective after objective given the situation that they're in. So, boss is down, Muradin jumps out, but here's a chance to make a bit of a play. And they just gotta get their act together, and they're gonna be fine. They've done it before. But they're trying to buy some time. They're isolating Muradin, or at least they're attempting to. Nice save! Malthael with the last rights, but Rhaegar negates it. That level 20 is so powerful. Malthael dies and immediately buys back. So they got the 5 on the map again. We're 24 minutes into the game. And Team Ash is starting to absolutely crush it. 20 seconds cooldown reduction, by the way, from Malthael. Blaze in trouble, Riptire, and get wrecked, son. Get wrecked. They haven't gotten a kill in an eternity. Finally, Muradin is gone. Hop, little dwarf. Hop, hop, hop. Muradin is jumping out. Gavlo finds a sweet death on the map. And now it's a 3 versus 4. Is Nano already in the 6-digit club? No, but he's insanely close, and so is Junkrat. Nearly crossing the 100,000 damage mark. It's getting crazy. It's getting absolutely crazy, but we're 25 minutes in and these Raiders are going to murder them. The Raiders are going to crush. This is game. This is game. Hanzo is dead. This is game. The keeps are all going to fall here and they're going to go for the core. The Raiders, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah? Bit of a brain fart here, a little bit of a throw, and Team Ash with spectacular victory. What do you think it was? Was it a throw from the Raiders, or was Team Ash just too good and found the momentum in the late game? Either way, 21 kills to 17, and it is a victory for Team Ash as they lock in the first win in the losers bracket final. GG. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Team Ash is in the lead. Cursed Hollow is our second map as we are heading into game number 2, and yeah, the Raiders kind of threw it. Now, this is obviously a bit of hindsight knowledge as well. When they engaged onto the core and started to attack it, it was a bit of a situation where they had a choice. Either go for the keep and go then afterwards for the core, or maybe even retreat or try and take it out. So it was a little bit of an interesting situation there because they decided, hey, we have enough time to take the core down. But as it turns out, the second that they get wiped, the keep falls. So if they would have done it the other way around and gone for the keep and then with the lack of the second armor shield attacked the core, they could have ended the game. Now they had no way of knowing this at that moment in time. They thought they could do more damage against the core more quickly and take it on, but in hindsight the better choice would have been go to the middle, take the keep down, remove that armor shield and then take the core on that now has reduced armor, takes damage a lot faster, and they would have been able to claim it. So hindsight is always 20/20, but for them, super unfortunate, of course. Great for Team Ash. And it's not like that immediately resulted in a win for Team Ash. Team Ash still had to then do the work, win multiple team fights, take 2 bosses, win 2 more objectives before they could finally win it. So, yeah. But that one was pretty solid right there. So really good comeback from Team Ash. Highly unfortunate at the same time. Both things can be true at once for the Raiders. And now as we're heading into game number 2, we'll see what the teams can actually do at this point. Diablo, ETC, both already banned out, so targeting the front line a bit. And with Cursed Hollow is also a pretty interesting map that we're now going to get with this. Lucio is banned so that they can't speed things up. First pick, first ban went over to the Raiders. So they are going to be very eager to force game number 3 out of this and move on to the grand final and get their rematch against the Bratwurst boys, but Sergeant Hammer gets banned again. Now, this is always a map where you can play a little bit around Greymane, Tyrael if you want, but we can get all kinds of comps here. Again, Varian is also still up if you want to go for an absolute sniper composition and start to take people down. Brightwing banned out at this point, and let's see what the red team does. How is Team Ash now going to react? Because it was a close call on the first map no matter what. Pretty spectacular one, but still. Doesn't change the fact that in the mid-game they were struggling a lot. Genji and Dehaka. I like the opening already. You have a global that is really going to help you here, and you have Genji. Now, since this is Cursed Hollow, there's always a chance that somebody busts out, let's say, Abatha, for example. And yeah. Let's see. What is going to be the double pick for the blue team right now? I would love if at some point someone would just like bust out a crazy hero again. Sylvanas has also not been played yet, right? So another one that he could get now. There she is. Sylvanas and Garrosh. Okay, going to try and dominate some of these fights with Garrosh here. And yeah, on the bans, what else? What are you trying to get rid of now? You could still ban Tracer. They banned Tracer in that position in the first game because of Gavlo. Still something that could be ban-worthy on Cursed Hollow as well. And they're already hesitating a bit, but they're going for the Vikings. Sven is, of course, another big point. He can still play Samuro if he wants to. So Vikings and Tracer, I think that were most likely the two heroes that they were thinking about. Unless they're picking Tracer for themselves, I think the chances are pretty big that Gavlo is now adding her to the blue team's lineup. But Samuro is another potential pick for the blue team. Sven has been playing him a lot, has had huge success with it as well. And we'll see how they're going to play this one out. But first we get the next and the final ban, and it's Varian. So yeah, this Varian combo that I was alluding to a bit earlier is now out of the picture as well. You can't really go in with the taunt and then the follow-up tong or anything like it. Still waiting to also see what their support is going to be here. But in particular, I'm really looking forward to the double pick on the blue team side, because that could be kind of spicy. What is Sven in particular taking, right? So, Renella, his Rhaegar is already gone. Stukov is up. They go Uther, Nuburak, so engage with Nuburak, get that cocoon out as well. I believe Maiev is also still an option for them later on. Maybe even here. I mean, they got their side lane, they got the main tank, they need some more damage. They could use Lopaka on Genji, play Bishops on Maiev. So there are still a few options for them in that regard, and that might actually be exactly what they're looking for. But there it is, Maiev for Gavlo instead of Tracer. And for Sven, we get Sonya. Okay. Yep, that is scary. That's really scary. I would love to know if they were thinking about picking Maiev for themselves, Team Ash. I really think that could have been a choice. Put Bishops on Maiev, send Genji over to Lopaka, and use that as your combo into this. Super aggressive, jump in. But yeah, time will tell. For now, we have Lopaka with the final pick. Map number 2 in the best of 3 series. Is Team Ash going to take the 2-0 victory? Are the Raiders bringing it back? We're going to find out together right now with Chromie as our last pick. Raiders against Team Ash. Alright, take 2. On the left, the blue team. Hunterhawk on Brightwing, Sven on Sonya, Gavlo with Maiev, Nano on Sylvanas, and Krenkel on Garrosh. The blue team with a chance to win 2 in a row now and then make it into the grand final. Whereas over on the right side of the map, we have Renella with Uther for Team Ash, Maitrai on Anubarak, Lopaka on Chromie, Morenas is playing Dehaka, and we got Bishops on Genji. It's party time. So, currently on level 1, the Wave of Light. Too many of these guys are playing around with light. Oh, careful. Dehaka, and he's alive, he's alive. And he makes it. Even a slam attempt from Sonya there was not enough. I was waiting for Maiev to just jump in again and go for a full-on cleave and take him out. But they were able to save him. This is bad news though. Because, yes, he's flanking, or he's anchoring the flank, Krankel, anchoring the play here. And they're not taking as much damage on their forward, or sorry, on their tower as I actually expected. But they are losing Uther. Seems like somebody got a little bit mad here, huh? We have Uther going down. Lots of aggression coming from the Raiders. And rightfully so. They should be aggressive here. They should make their moves. Also the top lane. Fight still continuing. Yeah, it's a full 4-man that is moving in. Sonya's just rotating between the lanes and they're pushing with Sylvanas in tow. Trying to take the wall out here. And they're not doing too badly. They're getting the first tower destroyed. Trying to aim for more. First objective, by the way, spawns at the top, so the red team would most likely take their siege giant camp late to make sure that it coincides with the spawn of the first tribute. Morena's a bit low and he also gets killed. That's the second kill already. The Raiders, they got a little bit mad over here, didn't they? They didn't like that first game. I can't really blame them. So now as we're heading into Cursed Hollow, they're starting off strong. Now, that doesn't really mean anything, because if we have one team that they could call themselves the comeback kings in this tournament, then it's definitely Team Ash. But their early game is not looking good at all. That's the third death now. They lost 3 heroes already. Yeah, talking about a bad opening. Not only did they lose 3 heroes, they lost the topside wall, and now the fort is getting attacked. The Raiders are looking for a speedrun. Oh, maybe Nano has a hot date or something. Like, I'm not quite sure, but they're definitely trying to speedrun this. Down to the bottom of the map, yeah, Sven going for the next camp here. Team Ash. I always had like the feeling that Team Ash, as the day continues, is starting to slack off a little bit. One of the theories in the past, when it was real evident, was that apparently for every single win or every single kill that they go, they're just taking a shot of vodka or something. But they somehow always make it back later. But you can totally see it, right? I mean, coming in is like, oh, Khaldor, it's not a problem. You drink what you kill hero, you drink vodka, you feel better. You get next kill, is okay. You see 2 targets, you shoot, you miss or you hit. And then targets die and later you win game. It's easy. It's not a problem. Vodka makes play better. Yeah. But yeah, either way, they are super fun to watch. I absolutely love Team Ash. It's one of my favorite teams. I think them and the Space Groups recently, the plays that they're making and the way they're playing this out is just absolutely stellar. So we'll see what we're going to get in this one. The early game definitely a bit shaky for them, but they are the comeback kings, and they love to be aggressive. So we're probably going to see that again as the game continues, with them jumping into some fights, trying to get a kill here. And given how often they've now pulled this off in the past, I will definitely not count them out just yet. But okay, either way, we, well, get the hit in. And there's Uther getting dropped. That's the 4th kill now. 4 heroes have been killed, and Lopaka, does she get a tether? No. Cooldown not ready. My try. They're just, I mean, honestly, they're scrambling at this point. They're really scrambling. Look at my try here. He's just trying to get away. Is trying to move out. Good stun, but Maiev shows no mercy. Cleaves him easy, and that is another kill. They're just doing way too much work with this. It's a beautiful, beautiful performance from the Raiders initially in this game. There's 5 kills to 0 now. They have the first tribute. The fort at the top has now been eliminated. And this 4-man that they're running here is dominating these fights. You have Garrosh just throwing people around. Maiev tethering them back in when they need it. The damage being dished out by Sylvanas. It's just so rough for the red team to get any kind of foothold in this game. That's what it seems like. Only the Hawk on the side lane is doing okay and is doing some structural damage, but it is a rough ride for the blue team, for the red team. Now, again, they are ahead in the series, so even if they lose here, they have another chance to take it. But we're still early in the game. Usually level 10 abilities change the dynamic quite a bit, so we'll see if it comes to that. But half a level of an advantage, and even going for the boss here. Could maybe argue that this is maybe a bit of a greedy play, but they got some vision, so they kind of know what's going on here. They have Garrosh still trying to slow down the other team as they're going for a tribute. And the tribute is being given up, but the boss is now taken for free. So that's a chance to push through the bot lane and maybe even annihilate another fort. Even Bishops is in trouble, and damn, Genji is super low. And talk about low, he nearly died here. Wow. That boss at the bottom of the map, they are going to try with level 10, which they're going to get soon, to take it out. The fort. So, yeah. Things are going splendidly for the blue team. The Raiders in full-on control. One level ahead, and they got level 10. That's the second fort that gets destroyed. And guys, we're only 6 minutes into the game. 6 minutes into the game, and the second fort falls. And who knows, they might be able to push this further. Nice connect with the spear. Bishops is taking way too much damage. Should have a swift strike up though, and can always get out. But yeah, they are getting absolutely played to the wall here. We're talking about walls. That bot lane wall is going to take damage. They're stealing the siege giants away now as well. So what a performance. And they might even get a kill. And Nubarak dove in. Ah, but he's fine. Gets at least out for now. Doesn't change the fact that the camp is going to be taken. But at least there's level 10 abilities on both sides, so here's the chance to fight it back. Genji with the Dragon Blade and the Divine Shield going for the old school combo, but it doesn't seem to be enough. Or is it? Krankle is low, and he gets the heal from Brightwing and walks away as Nano falls. First one to die on the blue team side, so at least Team Ash has a kill. They needed level 10 for it, but now they're all of a sudden chasing. They're getting a stun out against Sonya. There's the follow-up from Uther. Sonya in trouble. Burn! And yeah, goodbye. She's not making it. No chance. With Lee, we could jump out. That's the second tribute. So on the objective, they're actually ahead. They've lost 2 forts, but on the objective, they've now taken the lead. They have to, of course, they have to catch up in experience somehow. But this is the first big step. Half HP, Genji starts the boss. All right, my friend. Somebody is confident over here. Yeah, that bad boy Leashes needs a bit more. I mean, if you guys don't make the move for that, then I don't know. Tribute is spawning, but they will have to let that one slide. The position of the Tribute in and of itself is already an issue, and since the blue team has also immediately started to attack the next structure, they had to fall back here, or they would have sacrificed the mid lane as well. And the boss is just not worth it. At least not just now, not that early in the game. But yeah, the attacks, they continue. 5 kills to 2. A little more damage about to be done here. And yeah, another quick stun. How deep can they go with this? Another hit is coming against them, but there's Sven with the channel. They want the second tribute for themselves. This is a potential curse. Now the situation here is going to change completely if they can get that tribute and get that curse. That will change things for sure. Blue team is also getting closer and closer to level 13, so that's another advantage that they're running. And if they get 13, is Team Ash then still willing to take the fight? They also don't have a fountain anywhere nearby, so they give the tribute up. They know this is a bit too dicey, and retreat. Gavlo jumping in, alright, Vault of the Warden. Cocoon is out, nice, denying also the Wailing Arrow. Disc against Chromie though. Huntdog low and dies. Genji slicing, dicing, getting kills. Anubura gets wrecked, but so does Sonya. Sonya doesn't survive this. She can spin, she can win a little bit longer, but she is going to die. Team? Alright, there's the... Okay, now they're memeing. They got Maiev too, though. So Maiev and Sonya, they both died. They split their forces in order to make sure that they can take both heroes down. There's now a tribute coming down at the bottom of the map. And guys, this should be a curse. So, I don't know. This might not be as one-sided as we initially thought, because with 13 talents on both sides and now 5 kills to 6, Team Ash is not only making a comeback, but they might take the lead with the tribute that they're now claiming and the curse that they're putting on the opponent's team. So, they still got a chance here. They just have to make sure that they're now getting not only experience, but also some structural damage out. And this might still turn. Genji is already working on it. Easy peasy. Quickly making a short process of that wave. And again, they go for another kill against Garrosh, or at least they're trying to. Can't get it yet. Chromie with good damage. There's Cocoon against Nano once more. Top side, bot side will now be attacked by the minion wave, so they could take 2 forts there, which would draw even with the opponent. And they are ahead in experience. They are ahead in XP right now. And they get another kill, don't they? Krankle, he's low, he's low, he's low, and they take him down. Garrosh is dead again, the curse still raging on, and they get damage done. They take the lead in experience. Team Ash, damn, once again, once again, they're sitting tight here. I mean, top side, the fort is about to fall. At the bottom of the map, the same thing is happening. Dehaka has now also started to proxy some of the waves. In the middle, they're not able to take the fort out yet, but that is such a big comeback that they're making. They're going for the boss right away. They're closer to level 16 now. And, I mean, I don't know. The Raiders, they have to somehow try to get back into this. And it's not going to be easy. Well, to be fair, if they get a tribute, they have a curse as well. So that's kind of all that they really got to do here. But given the fact that now the boss is taken, they can take it at the bottom. They need to take this one. They got all the time in the world. Nah, they don't have all the time in the world, but they got enough time to take it. So yeah, it's a boss for a boss. Next tribute is going to be highly important though. 30,000 damage for Genji. Boss top side. Boss at the bottom. Both of them are going to go straight for the keep, so I think both teams will just simply try to defend here. Level 16 talents are a little bit faster. So all in all, there's still an advantage for the blue team, specifically since they already have 2 tributes to 0. That in particular is a big lead, because you force your opponent to fight for every single tribute from here on out, or to just simply accept that curse, one of the two. But the more important part is that Team Ash is back. They're back to business. They've done it. They've reclaimed the position in the game, and they're now in a spot where they can definitely fight back on eye level. And after that early game, that wasn't necessarily easy. Oh, great move there. Did you catch that? Look at the cocoon of Anubarak there for a second. So yeah, he actually caught it. So Anubarak gets the cocoon out, and then watch Garrosh. So Anubarak is in. Tries to escape, turns, bam, and here comes Indomitable. Always awesome when that happens, no matter who does it. So he's able to dodge the cocoon with that little play, and now they're going for the fight again. One keeper's already taken damage, Sven takes the camp, and now they gotta retreat. They love these high-risk plays, and they might still work out. Yeah, they nearly got a kill, but it's Dehaka that dies. They were so close to take Garrosh out, but Dehaka falls, and now we're gonna see Anubarak wrecked. So the Raiders, again with a double kill here. 8 kills to 6, and that's now a big chance. All of a sudden, they are looking at... The Chrome is dead too. They're gonna get the curse. They can go for the bottom keep. That was a big, big play. Team Ash did great coming back into the game. But now it is fairly clear that the Raiders are in it to win it. They're moving towards the map already. Just keep Garrosh back for the curse. They're breaking through the middle here. Brightby comes back for a bit of mana. Bot lane gets pressured with even catapults coming in. There's multiple keeps that are now likely going to fall. It's not going to be only one. Mid keep, bot keep are going to fall 100%. Team Ash came back by being aggressive, and again, sometimes it just backfires. Sometimes you luck out there and sometimes you don't. Dehaka still trying to defend this as they're moving towards the top to open this up. Well, they are just figuring that bot lane is going to fall no matter what, and they are right. Bot lane is gone. That's 2 keeps tonight, and they can go for the 3rd one. It's kind of funny, by the way, that they're not even thinking about going core. Now, they shouldn't, but after the last game, they're destroying every single structure before they're even thinking to go for core. That's what we're really seeing. That's the real story here. It's not the reason, but it sounds still good. So, 9 kills to 6. Krankle gets attacked again. As catapults on the core. Core is losing hit points. Core is losing hit points right now. It's at 87%. It's losing a lot more than I thought it would. But they have to fight that fight. But the keep falls. Genji still wanted to kill. 77%. The catapults are really hurting. And, well, that should be game. That will be game. Sonya's moving in. And we are going the distance, everybody. We are going to game number 3 in the losers bracket final. GG. Well played. Alright, I think we're going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. I am not sure, because we've been here in this screen 3 times now. This is number 4, and every time somebody dropped on the side of the Raiders. Now, this has happened so many times that we decided to start the draft without Krankle, who apparently has a trash PC and hasn't fed his hamster in a while. I really don't know what exactly is going on, but I have to ask at some point, because he's been dropping, and we now decided that we're going to draft without him. You can see that Death Knight is actually on the side of the Raiders now, and then when the draft is over, they're going to cancel the draft, they're going to kick Death Knight out, Krankle is going to move in, and then we start the game without a draft. That has been working apparently in the past, so that is the play right now. It is wild. Either way, we are heading into game number 3. Apparently this time it's really happening, even though we were already this far in the draft, but looking good so far. The winner takes it. The winner claims victory in this losers bracket final, moves on to the grand final to face off against the Bratwurst boys, and the loser takes 3rd place in qualifier number 5. So we're going the distance here. And on Tomb of the Spider Queen, Medivh, Vala, Sergeant Hammer get quickly banned, with our final BAM in the first rotation being Diablo. Wave clear reigns supreme here, so we'll see how things go. But yeah, I am kind of... First of all, I'm excited to get the game started, because this seems to be the bigger obstacle at this point. But I also want to see if we're going to see the rematch of the winner bracket final between the Bratwurst boys and the Raiders, or if Team Ash is now going to bully through this and make it happen. Yeah, it's just kind of funny to me. Like, again, I've done the intro 3 times. This is the 4th time now. And then every time it's just like, dip, dropped again. You see, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, this is the stuff that you don't see, because I'm cutting all of it out. So you get the clean games without breaks, most of the time at least. But yeah. Either way, Varian is the first pick. So probably a couple of mages. Mephisto is still up and could be taken. Well, forget about it, because he's already claimed. Nano gets him very quickly. We could still play this out with Jaina, Gul'dan, and Kel'Thas. Those are the 3 picks if you're looking into mage damage. Kel'Thas gives you the advantage of following up any kind of taunt or stun with additional CC through a gravity lapse. Stukov for the lurking arm, also fantastic obviously if you're going for that sniper combo. And Jaina, a bit more bursty on the damage, and when she cycles through her rotation, she's going to be quite powerful there. But to make things even more aggressive, Bishops has decided that it is time to bust out his Kerrigan. Maiev is gone, so Kerrigan is the next best thing for them now. And yeah, good stuff. What's the bans? Do they maybe even ban Jaina, or do they focus on the side lane? If they're trying to ban some of the burst damage, she would be a good choice. Ah, right, Greymane also still up. Another good point. Greymane ban makes perfect sense, obviously, here. Yes, if you have Kerrigan, Stukov, Varian, you know your opponent is going to try and just burst targets into the ground within seconds, so Greymane is a good choice here too. Now, when it comes to bans for... There is actually a chance that... What are you getting as a tank for the Raiders? Could go Stitches here even, if they want to go a little bit farther out. On Tomb, not a bad pick. ETC gets banned out. Yeah, of course. Power Slide with the stun can push targets away, create some space. Worst case scenario, everybody jumps up on him in clumps and he goes straight for a mosh pit. So ETC, getting rid of him, definitely not a bad option. It leaves Stitches and a couple of other tanks open. That could still be a problem and a nuisance, but it makes a whole lot of sense to get rid of ETC given the comp that they are trying to play here. Now, blue team with a double pick, Rexa and Arthas again. Now, by the way, guys, keep in mind, I'm gonna slow it down as we're going to the final pick, because after the last pick is made, they're gonna leave the draft and then go into a custom game to set it up so that Krankle can rejoin. Death Knight is obviously not going to play here. He's only here for that little trick so that we can actually get into the game. But a nice frontline. Rexa, Arthas. Final pick now on Tomb of the Spider Queen for Team Ash. This is our final map in the series. And we get Kel'Thas and Leo. There's all that CC that I've been talking about. Nice! Tomb of the Spider Queen. Map number 3 in our best of 3 series here at the Losers Bracket final of Banshee Cup qualifier number 5. Only one qualifier left. But yeah, I like it. Bit more damage wouldn't hurt for the Raiders, but it could also go into another melee hero, of course. And we'll see what the choice is. But yeah, let's head straight into game number 3. Let's go. Game number 3. Let's go, boys. We made it. We made it. We're in the game. It has happened. On the left, Gavlo on Rexa for the Raiders. Sven on Urel. Nan on Mephisto. Hunterhawk on Lucio. And Krankle is playing Arthurs. Over to the right side of the map, we have Team Ash with Bishops on Carrigan, Renella on Stukov. Lopaka's playing Kel'Thas in the final game of the series. We have Maitri on Varian and Morenas with Leoric. So, pretty epic lineup for the red team. I mean, a very crazy one if you just look at the CC that they have. That doesn't guarantee victory, though. And the Raiders are quite confident in what they're running here. They've been playing with Arthurs already a couple of times. Okay, Krankle gets drained right at the start though. But after level 4 it should actually be interesting when the taunts come in, when Carrigan sets some combos up. So yeah, they're gonna do their thing. Varian is acting like he's actually useful before level 4, so he's running around and posturing up a little bit. But as soon as the blue team is calling his bluff, they're going to find out that he is utterly useless. But talk about useless, Arthurs gets out thanks to Lucio, who's not useless here. That was a good move. That could have been the first kill of the game. There's a few stuns also for the Raiders. I mean, there's a heavy front line too. You have Misha, you have Rexa, you got Urel and Arthurs. But all in all, I like all of that CC train action that we're gonna get from Team Ash. At least assuming that they're coordinating those attacks properly. Combo is missing for now, and Bishops will have to retreat. There's a lot hinging on his performance. 100%. I mean, he needs to be on his A game if they really want to take this. Now, Siege Giants at the bottom of the map that could be taken. Same time also, the next attack coming here in the middle as they're hoping to get a bit more damage done and maybe pick up kill number 1 in the game. Thus far, that hasn't happened. But time will tell. Camps are claimed now all over the place. On the left side, the Bruiser camp by the blue team. And Team Ash is doing the exact same thing over here. As Kel'Thas is pushing a bit, getting additional stacks also for his Mana Addict. Standard choice, obviously, for Kel'Thas on level 1. Nobody's crazy enough to go for Convection in a game that they actually want to win. At least not when there's anything on the line. So, while the meme factor might not quite be the same, Mana Addict is clearly the better talent in those situations. Taunt is ready, so we get that. And we have the Energy Royal for Kel'Thas. And now with Taunt, let's see if they're setting these combos up. Arthurs will also be super interesting as the game progresses, because he's again going with level 4 into his Frozen Wastes. Seems like Leo might be the first one to fall, but even if he dies here, he will still have the gems. No taunt yet, but already the engage. Arthurs with a Howling Blast. They can follow up on that. Taunt comes in against our boy. And Krankle, does he eat the combo? Yes, he does. And he is eating sweet death as well. Carrigan coming in and being able to stun him once again. Sealed the deal. Misha also died. And now they're coming in for the wall, for the gate. Stukov with some zoning measures already. And boy, did Lucio have some problems here. Lucio was in real trouble. They're zoning them out from the gate. The choke point was fully controlled by Stukov the entire time, and it allowed the red team to take the towers down a notch, below 50% HP, and in addition to that, just crush the gate itself. A great start for Team Ash. Not something that they were able to say a whole lot in this game so far. Rexa gets killed, and that is bad news. Rexa dying is actually a bit of a disaster for multiple reasons. First of all, because now the wall gets attacked and one of the towers is already gone. So will be the gate. But the bigger reason is he had gems. That's a lot of gems lost. They just lost 20 gems as Rexa got killed. I said Arthurs, didn't I? Anyways, Rexa got killed, him and Misha. And the gems were lost. Side laners, usually in the early game, hold a lot of gems here. And just look at that CC train again. Lucio pokes his head out, gets taunted, Gravity Lapses a follow-up, and insta-kill. That's 3 kills to 0, level 7 on the board, and Team Ash is off to a good start. They're off to a great start here. And will get the first Web Weaver wave. Red Web Weavers are going to touch ground soon. They have a talent advantage as well. Blue team was hoping to maybe get a cheeky kill up at the top. That didn't work out. If it did, then they had an easier chance defending. But now Arthurs gets caught again. He's not out of the woods yet. He's trying to get away. Yeah, nice Howling Blast turnaround at least. But they cannot kill anybody. Well, now Urel is also a bit up far to the front here with the 24 gems. She needs to be careful. She's not the only one, though. We have Varian super low, and Nano nearly kills him. Mephisto with good damage. Leo trying to get away. Nano! And he's dead. Nano is gone, and boy, that's bad news. He's one of the main damage dealers for the blue team, and especially when we're talking about Web Weaver defense, this is a hero that they really would have to rely upon in that fight, and it did not work out that way. So now the top lane gets attacked. We got 4 kills to 0 all in all. Mid lane gets attacked too, and a fantastic position for Team Ashe this early in the game. Icebound Fortitude for Arthas, trying to survive through some of those stuns and the damage that gets pushed onto him. But just look how quickly all of these structures are going down here. Even if they cannot take a fort out, and they might still be able to pull one off here, they're doing so much work with the one in the middle already, and it gets taken out by the Minions. So now it's in a 1 level lead that they're holding, and on top of that they have a fort destroyed, some gems removed from the blue team, and are still chasing for additional kills. And let's not forget that they have heroic abilities in their sights already. So super close that they should be able to take it any moment, and then they can go for a second fort. They can dive in here. Maybe they get enough gems for another turn in. Either way, the situation is dire for the blue team. They need to get level 10 themselves, try and bring this back slowly, but at least currently it's full on momentum swing in favor of the red team. Leo goes south after trying to hit the Entomb, which he couldn't. Bishop's a bit too far, and they kind of overdid it here. They were trying to completely crush them, and it didn't work out that way. So finally a kill also for the Raiders. And that is the first step back into the game. That was nicely done here. Bishop's lost a couple of gems, nothing insane, only around 7. But losing Carrigan definitely took all the momentum away from them that they were building up so desperately before. Now Maitri has to rush out. Morenas is on the move back. And Maitri is not out of the danger zone just yet. Gets locked down with the Howling Blast just as Carrigan comes back into the fight. Varian is gone. Yep, those staggered deaths. Once again, we've seen them before, but now they're also taking down Leoric. And that makes things a bit worse, because all of a sudden, not only did the blue team get their own Web Weavers, but they're also getting 2 kills at the perfect moment in time, take a few gems away from you, and make things worse and worse. So, yeah, nicely done. Blue Web Weavers are going to be descending, and let's see how much can be done here on the side of the Raiders in order to bring this one back. I mean, they're basically back. They have a leading experience already. Structurally, that's the big question. What can they do there? Are they able to take out 1-4-2, or is now the red team, Team Ashe, again able to just swing this around, get a kill quickly, and shut it down super easily, as they already shut down the Web Weaver at the top lane, more or less without taking any significant damage. Always assuming that Bishops makes it out, and actually that's not a given. Bishops looking for the combo, not locking it up completely. We got a Pyro, I didn't even see it. Pyro forces Lucio back a bit, and Arthas dies. So not any direct value out of Pyro. They weren't able to get a kill, but at least they forced Lucio back a bit, and that made it harder for him to keep everybody else alive. 5 kills to 3. But yeah, we got the Meme Blast in the game. Did not see that coming. And Syndragosa. That makes a little bit more sense given the circumstances. They also have a triple front line, so he can be a bit more aggressive. And talking about aggression, that's how you kill Lucio. The full combo unleashed. Leo gets away, gets a heal. Sven is still saying hello over here. And once again, the choke point might not be the best way to fight into this. Now, if they can take the camp or not, that's a different question. But fighting into the choke point the way that they were just attempting to, against Stukov particularly, is not really the best move in most situations. Gavlo on Rexa is a bit low. Taunt won't be up for a few more seconds, but the slows are here, and that's the end of Rexa. That's also the end of the gems that he's been holding, so that's 20 more gems down the drain. And Team Ashe is back in control of game number 3. 7 kills to 3, level 13 on the board. And at the top, another opportunity to get more damage in against the fort, and maybe take it down with minions every now and then. I was expecting somebody to at least chip away from a distance, but no. 26,000 damage in the meantime for Kalthas. 32,000 for good old Mephisto. Proving once and again for the early game at least who's the better mage here. At least the more impactful one. But we have 32 gems already turned in, so they were able to do that, and they can get that second turn in any moment now. Durell is the only one on the blue team side that hasn't fallen yet. 13 versus 13 in Talons now, but they can get the turn in if they want to. Still a couple of opportunities to also push this fight further forward and look for a kill on the other hand. Who's holding all these gems? I guess Khaldor at the top is holding nearly 30. He really needs to turn in. He's at 24, so Lopaka would be well advised to secure some of them. 11 more needed for the next Web Weaver wave. Boss is also up, of course. And the blue team is a bit pinned down here. Yeah, they're currently slightly pinned down in their own base. And with Khaldor now making his way over, we have the turn-in happening. Turn-in is done. If they can get kills on top of that too, that of course would be the dream. That's the reason why we have Varian currently sitting tight at the side and just waiting for somebody to move towards the fort to save it, because Lopaka is kind of dangling in here as bait. He's trying to bait them in. He's like, look, I'm all alone. There's nobody with me here, and I'm taking your fort down. But they're not falling for it that easily. So the bottom fort will be destroyed. The Web Weavers are going to take it down. That's going to happen. Top side might be defended, but they're hoping for more. They're hoping for walls on the keeps in the middle and down at the bottom of the map. And as long as they're splitting their forces the way that they do, they might also be able to go for level 16 just in time for this. Kerrigan combo did not work out in this case, but they are breaking through the gate. And again, 16 is inching closer and closer. Nice flank, and that's the end of Khaldor. Khaldor is gone, and that was an important one that shuts the attack down more or less completely. Job well done, and they're not only getting one kill, they're getting two. They're taking Stukov down as well. So, nice job by the Raiders. They're actually fighting back as best they can over and over again. Every time they fall behind shortly after, they're able to force another battle, get some kills in. Still lost the fort at the bottom of the map, still lost some of the walls on those keeps, but they are back to business, only half a level away from the opponent's team. And overall, it's still looking pretty solid for them. Especially, of course, if they can take Leo now as well. But yeah, he's already ghosting out. Holds too many gems also to risk that. And since we're talking about gems, let's not forget that with level 16 also coming in for them any moment now, the blue team still has the chance to go for a turn-in. They got the gem count, and they pull it off, and they kill Leo. Yeah, they drop Leo. He'll be back in time. Look at all the living bomb damage on the other hand. So yeah, they're taking tons of damage on this. It's still going to be fine. And now the Web Weavers are coming in. But you can also tell that they're very hesitant and very careful how they position themselves here against an opponent that has been running CC trains over them time and time again here, and would love nothing more than getting another one executed and get a quick hero kill. Since Urel is at the bottom of the map, they're also slightly outnumbered up here. Another reason why you have to be a bit careful. So, Team Ash. Oh boy. Oh boy. My try. He's eating a lot of damage. And look at Burenas. Leo is going fully Orky on them. He's running it down top lane now. Zoned them away. And again, if you lose a hero, it is him. That is doing nothing. Arthas is definitely the wrong target for that. That did nothing. Well, that did a lot. That is 3 kills. Rexa, Arthas, and Kerrigan. 2-for-1 trade. But fort in the middle gets now destroyed by the Web Weavers. And at the bottom of the map, they're working on the next one. So 2 of the forts are gone, which means structurally the 2 teams have not drawn even. In experience, they're on eye level. I love this series. This is what we expected heading into the match, and this is exactly what we're getting. A continuous back and forth between the 2 of them. 50,000 damage now for Khaldor. Apparently he heard what I said earlier and said, you know what, Khaldor? You know what, Khaldor? How about you just take a nice cup of shut the fuck up and just let me do my thing, and I'm gonna show Mephisto who's really the top damage dealer. How about we do that? I was like, alright, accepted, alright. Alright. You got some time. You're catching up. But still, some of that is padded bullshit damage from Pyroblast. Just saying. Just saying. Gotta call it out here. So, 8 kills to 9. Half a level of an advantage. Yeah, and time to see if Khaldor is, at the end of the day, really able to get the top damage in the game and surpass Mephisto. All the way at the top, they're going for boss, and they're actually committing. Alright. Red team should know that. They should actually know what's going on here. They're going for Misha, take Misha out, and they let the boss slide. It was a bait! It was a ruse all along! They go for my try, 34 gems, that's a juicy target. Leo distracted them and tries to get out, but might still fall. Yeah, they are swarming him right now. What is this? StarCraft 2? Are we zerging or what's happening here? So there's a counter kill. Arthas is having a bit of a bad day. Gets killed by Kerrigan. And Garflo is also on the run. Damn, this is just absolutely bananas. Up at the top, Leo is still trying to provide them with a bit of vision on Nano and wants to spawn on him too. Again, Pyroblast just doing nothing but pet Kelthar stacks a little bit. And it's Misha that's gone, but there's the lurking arm, and Urel bites the dust, and the 25 gems that she had might be picked up by Hunter Orc, but he decides that it's just a little bit too risky, and I can absolutely emphasize here. They also lost Rexar, by the way, so now again Team Ash in the driver's seat. This game is kind of bananas. It's like all over the place. But by now we have level 20 in the hands of Team Ash. They also got enough gems so that they could get a turn-in. And if they wanted to, they could go for boss plus turn-in after they take the keep out. I highly doubt that they're going to go for core. Then again, it's Team Ash, so you never know. And what am I even talking about? Of course they're going to go core. You can go smoke, you go smoke. And since they get Mephisto, this might actually work out. With Mephisto not insta-dying, that would have been much, much harder for them to pull off. But now that he's dead, there's an actual opportunity. They're trying for follow-up kills. The core is already getting destroyed slowly. Mephisto is gone for 50 more seconds. And Team Ash, ladies and gentlemen, is trying to take victory as they drop Lucio. That's game. That's it. The Raiders take third place. And Team Ash moves on to the grand final of qualifier number 5 here at the Banshee Cup. GG and well played.